Okay, so I was way off. I was way off. I was way off on my original prediction. I was way off on my post weigh-in prediction and what I thought it meant. And I was way off. And everything Tyson Fury promised, he delivered on. And he said he was going to add on size. He was going to put the pressure, bring it to Deontay. He said he was going to knock him out. And he did all those things. And he saw it from the first fight. Fred Roach saw it from the first fight. And him switching trainers, which I thought was a bad idea, was a brilliant idea. Him gaining that weight was a brilliant idea. And him putting the pressure on Deontay, his plan to put pressure on Deontay was a brilliant idea. Tyson Fury was right on all accounts. He was right on all accounts. And it wasn't just me wrong. Most people that picked Deontay just because his power, and they thought that Fury was going to be there in front of him. We thought that Deontay would land, and Fury was just so good. He knew that him being in front of him would only mean that he would land more. It didn't mean that Deontay would land more. It meant that he would land more. That's exactly what happened. And I wish Deontay didn't have the excuses that he has. But that's natural. He's never lost before. And he handled it good right when the fight ended. His interview was perfect, and then now, because it's weighing on him and all these things, like weighing on him was funny because he said that the outfit was weighing on him, which is ridiculous. What a ridiculous thing to say. And even if it was, say even his outfit was, because it was 40 pounds, it was weighing on him, right? Just even to say, let's say that's what it was, right? That's just bad. That's still bad on your part. It's still bad strategy. You've got to plan ahead. I mean, so you want me to excuse the loss for that? That's your fault. That's on you. But I don't believe that. I don't believe that's what it was. I wouldn't have said it. Even if it was that, I wouldn't have said it. I would have never said it. I would just took the loss. And if you're going to rematch it. I don't think it's a good idea to rematch it, but if you're going to rematch it. Save the excuses, though. It doesn't look good. It doesn't look good going into the next fight. And it's only going to give Tyson Fury more material going into the press, going for the next fight. Fury did what great fighters do, and when you see a lot of like guys that we think are unstoppable get beat, they usually get beat in a way that we don't expect them to get beat. The fight, Canelo going at Golovkin, pushing Golovkin back, right, in the second fight, gaining him the win. Evander Holyfield taking the fight to Mike Tyson. See, sometimes the way to beat this unstoppable force is to go right at it or do what they're best at, right? You never really seen someone try to box Floyd. And I always wondered that if someone had flipped a fight and said, "No, Floyd, you come chase me," right? What would that look like? And we never really seen it. We've seen it in spurts from Madonna. Madonna added where he put pressure in the first fight, and then he would come back and start jabbing in the middle of the ring and box him. And there were spurts of his success because I don't think really Floyd expected it. Right? And in this fight, Fury just went straight at Deontay, and he never allowed him to set up his shots. He kept him constantly off his footing because he was constantly going backwards, so he could never go forward and gain momentum. He never allowed momentum to be gained in the fight. The ref break it up, he'd be right in on him. They get in on him, he would hold him, put Deontay Wilder's head down so he could not punch in the clinch. He did a good guillotine, got him in a guillotine a bunch of times and put his weight all on him, weighed him down. I was watching the fight with my pops, and he was saying, he needs to start going to the body. As soon as he said that round, Fury drops him with a body shot. He fought the perfect fight, and I'm not here to put down what Wilder is. I'm here to raise up what Fury is, because I think Fury's is an all-time great heavyweight. I think Wilder's the hardest hitting heavyweight ever with his right hand. I think Fury is one of the most all-around heavyweights we've ever seen, one of the best all-around heavyweights we've ever seen. If you're including size, skill, ability, power, all those things, charisma, he has the complete package. He's a complete package. And he has the makings of could be an absolute star. And it's funny because you never, like I said, I was just talking about this in the last podcast, you never know who the star is going to be in fighting. You never know. You never know. It's so rare that they say this guy's going to be a star. Besides Ryan Garcia, you don't know. You just don't know who's going to be a star. And Tyson Fury is a gypsy from England. Heavyweight. Controversial. Suicidal. bald, white, likes to sing. Perfect combinations that made us a star that we didn't know. I never know. I didn't know. I knew Tyson Fury was good. I've been raving about Tyson Fury since he beat Klitschko. I thought when he beat Klitschko and that people called it a boring fight, I thought he beat Klitschko he outboxed Klitschko. Klitschko couldn't get in on him, and people said, well, it was an off night and Tyson Fury fought a boring fight, whatever. And no one was praising what it should have been, that Klitschko was unstoppable at that point, and this guy just schooled him for 12 rounds, right? So I knew that Tyson Fury was skilled from that fight. And then, Tyson Fury disappeared. And then Wilder came, Joshua came. But I knew when Tyson Fury came back and he fought Wilder, I was like, oh, that's a good fight, actually. I picked Wilder to win, but I thought that's a good fight. And I wouldn't be surprised if Fury won because he's so skilled at boxing. And that's what the first fight looked like. But what I didn't know is that Fury can go and get someone. And that's what this fight was. And he's so skilled. And what you forget is that you think like a guy that's a smooth boxer is he's good because he's a smooth boxer. He could do one thing. He's going to move away from you and outpoint you and all those things. And no, the reason why Floyd Mayweather's so good is he could do it all. Remember Mayweather fought an inside fight with Cotto. That's Cotto's game. And Floyd Mayweather was better at it than him. Because he could do everything. He's so skilled. That's what a really elite boxer is. He could do everything in the ring. And Tyson Fury could do everything in the ring. The fight that this reminded me of was the fight that Fury had with Otto Wallen, which I don't think his idea going into that fight was to apply pressure, but because of his cut, he had to. And the pressure he applied in that fight is similar to the pressure he applied in this fight. And I don't know if he took something from that fight and he saw something in that fight. They said, you know what? I can do this to guys and I should be doing this to guys. And people seem to like this. And this is, I could be getting guys out instead of just boxing them. And once I think he took something from that fight and said, I'm going to bring that to this one. Because that's saying he switched training camps after that fight. So now we're talking about a rematch. Fix this. We're talking about a rematch. I have major questions about it. I don't think it's a good idea, especially for Wilder's part. But is that fight really going to sell? Is a Wilder versus Fury fight going to sell? No. Right? It'll do numbers, but it's not going to do the numbers it just did here, because the reason why I don't think so is because I don't think people believe Wilder has a chance anymore. Right? And he may have a chance because he hits very hard. I'm not here to put down Wilder. I'm not here to sell my stock on Wilder. I think Wilder's still a very good heavyweight and would still give a lot of heavyweights a lot of problems even throughout time. He's still that good. He just ran into the guy that is just the perfect match for him to beat him. He's a big heavyweight, smooth boxer, slick, fast on his feet, fast with his hands. He has all the combinations that was lasting Wilder, and what took away Wilder's huge advantage of how long he is. Too, is that he's so long, Wilder, that if you make a mistake and you try to back out, he still catches you at the end of it. But the problem with Fury is he's so long that when he moves and he puts his arms out, he's deflecting stuff you're going with, right? And the Fury, things that Fury added to is he was so long, he added a left hook. See, so if usually Wilder jumps in, right, a long reach, you can't stop his punch until it gets closer to you, right? Then you could try to get under it or try to pull away, whatever. What Fury was doing, because he's long, is every time Wilder went forward, he check left hooked him. Oh, check left hook. He did that all night. He just beat him to it. And every time Wilder get hit, his punch get wider. He got hit in between, his punch get wider. Boom, he hit that. Jab, fake jab, overhand right. It was all night. All night. He was going, you move in, jump in on him, jab him back, overhand right, grab him, put him in a hold. It was just the perfect combinations, all those abilities that Wilder, I think, Wilder's not going to be able to beat. And to me, Fury's really up so he won every round of that fight. There's not a round he lost in that fight. So that one I think it went 7. He won probably about 9, the last one. So he's 16 rounds to 3. These are not close if you look at them. They're not close. And now they're going to do a rematch. I know it's in the contract. There's probably no way out of it, right? But how do you sell this fight? Is he going to really sell it on that the costume was too big? This costume way too much? How do you sell this fight? How do you sell that? And are we going to get robbed of a Joshua Fury fight? They have the third one. I'm going to pick Fury. I won against him twice. I'm going to go Fury this time. Probably similar result. Right? Puvlev versus Joshua. I'm going to go Joshua. I like Puvlev. I think he's good. He's a little bit too stable. Joshua hits a little too hard. He's a little slick. He's a better boxer. Puvlev's a little more swipes with his punches. Joshua's down the middle. Joshua's now extremely underrated. It's funny. It might be a rock, paper, scissors thing here, right? I think that the problem with Joshua and Wilder is that Wilder just hits too hard. And I don't think Joshua's defense, I think Joshua has good defense, good, well-rounded defense. But I just don't think he would be able to avoid the shot all night. And I think that once Wilder hit him, it would be over. Right? And then I think Wilder loses to Fury because Fury is so slick, so fast, and so tall and long that he takes away a lot of the advantages that Wilder could possibly have. Now the Fury-Joshua matchup, now everybody's selling Joshua out of that. Now, I'm going to pick Fury in that matchup. Right now, if I'm picking Fury in that matchup. But I don't think that's like foolproof, easy fight. I don't think that at all. I think that Joshua could do a lot of things, especially if it turns into a boxing match or turns into two guys standing in front of each other trying to land a power shot. But smart boxer punchers in front of each other, I think that favors Joshua. That's a Joshua type of fight, that fight right there. And if you want to go back and look at the Klitschko and Joshua fight, it's somewhere similar to that, but with Fury has less pop than Klitschko does. So I don't think that's a one-sided fight at all. And I think that's a mega fight. It's probably the biggest fight England has ever had and probably will have for a very long time. Right? That's the fight that we want to see. And that's the fight that should be made. But they're probably going to do a rematch, right? So I'll take Joshua to win that fight. I'll take Fury to win that fight. Can we set it up for the end of the year? Fury said he has 2 fights left. Why wouldn't he take that fight? In England, in a soccer stadium. Now, let's say Wilder wins, right? He wins a rematch. Okay, so it's 1-1 draw. You got to go again then. So then they go again, right? Then Joshua goes on and fights another thing, gets another thing going. It's like, I don't think it's going to happen, right? But I think Joshua really needs Fury to dominate the next one, win it, and let's set up that mega fight. Because I think if Wilder wins, I don't know if he fights Joshua. I just don't think that's going to happen. I don't know why the business of it just doesn't look like it's going to happen. There's heavyweight divisions alive and well though right now, and I think we have our superstar, and that's Fury. And like I said, you cannot guess who superstars are going to be in fighting. No one knows, right? No one knew that Conor McGregor would be a superstar. No one knew. Now, when you seen him the first time, you knew that was something special, but no one knew that. They didn't call him up to UFC right away. It took a very long time to get him up there. Okay, so they didn't know. You don't know what you have. You don't know what's going to work. Fury worked. Fury's a superstar. Fury's an absolute superstar. They're going to do Wilder again. If Fury's star power is what I think it is, maybe it does sell, right? But that performance was great, and I wish that maybe Wilder would second guess it. Go fight Ruiz. Get a win under your belt. Let Joshua and Fury handle their business, and then go fight the winner of that. But right now, I think I would wait on this because I think he needs to build his confidence back up before he gets in there again. And I think he maybe needs to add a few things to his game because if Fury starts pushing him backwards again, from what I've seen, he doesn't have an answer for it. On my next podcast, I'm going to talk about the title that I created, the World Super Champ. And I created one for every division. And it's the one title that I think that is going to recognize the one single champ of that division, the best champ of that division. I will go through the rules of it. I will go through each champion. I will go through my thinking of that. That will be this week on the next podcast. This has been The Weigh-In.